Good morning. We're going to begin meditation in just 1 minute. If you're not planning on meditating, can you please leave the sanctuary? Good morning. My name is Elizabeth. My pronouns are she and her. I'm going to set an intention for our beginning 3 breaths. I invite you to set this intention with me and with our first breath. As I inhale, I breathe in calm. And as I exhale, I release all stress and tension. As I inhale, I invite relaxation into my body. And as I exhale, I release all doubts and fears. And as I inhale, I breathe in tranquility. And as I exhale, I am peace. invite you to slowly deepen your breath once again. And as you come out of the meditation, to hold that sense of peace. May we all be peace. Our service will begin at 10:30. Thank you for meditating this morning.
for Spiritual Living San Jose. We are so glad you are here with us today. We're going to get us started. Stand if you're feeling like it this morning and join us in our opening song. Here we go. Everybody get up on your feet. See the light in everybody you meet. Everybody get up on your feet. See the light in everybody you meet. Let us be reminded of who we come to be. We are love, we are one big family. Hey, hey, yeah, yeah. Hey, 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 yeah, yeah. Let's make a joyful sound. Here we stand on holy ground. Let us make a joyful sound. Here we stand on holy ground. Let us make a joyful sound. Hey, 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 hey. Joyful sound. Here we stand on holy ground. Let us make a joyful sound. Here we stand on holy ground. Let us make a joyful sound. Hey, 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 hey. Everybody get up on your feet. See the light in everybody you meet. Everybody get up on your feet. See the light in everybody you meet. Let us be reminded of who we've come to be. We are love, we are one big family. Hey, hey, yeah, yeah. Hey, 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 yeah, yeah. Hey, 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 yeah, yeah. Hey, 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 yeah, yeah.
Good morning and welcome, everyone. I'm Spencer Nassar. I'm one of your practitioners in service today, and I'm your host today, and I'm really excited to be here. And I want to remind you, you're here at CSL San Jose, where thoughts are things, and where we control our future, and where we are based in love. I'd like to invite Ron Wade to come up and pray us in.
Let's let the sound of the bowl steady us into this moment, letting go of all of the hecticness and chaoticness that appears to be outside in the world. I said appears. As the bowl reverberates, further bringing me into this moment, I know that despite all appearances, there's only one thing going on, only one thing, that I'm part of it, it is part of me, that I am it, it is me. And in that oneness, you are it and it is you. And you and I are all together. So as we come together in this space, the space of love, light, and peace, where the thing itself manifests through the musicians, through each and every one of you here and online, through the Sunday message from Reverend Aileen. I know that the characteristics of that thing itself, love, light, and peace, permeate each and every moment of this service, and therefore each and every molecule of your being, leaving us touched, moved, and inspired to carry this love, this light, and this peace out with us as we leave these doors after service. Calling this a great blessing, calling this service blessed, calling each and every one of us here blessed. I am grateful. And from that place of gratitude, I release my word into the action of the law that only knows to say yes, and I invite you to help me anchor it with, and so it is.
Thank you, Ron. Okay, it's time for our statement of being. Please stand if you're comfortable doing so. You'll see the statement of being on the screens. We believe that life is good, that God is all there is, and that love is the only power. We are a welcoming and inclusive community of inspired individuals caring for and about each other and the entire planetary family, bringing the gifts of active compassion and kindness to the world. Our purpose is to transform lives, build dreams, and reveal God through education, music, prayer, service, generosity, and play. Now take a minute to greet people around you. Say hello to someone you don't know, and we'll be back in less than a minute. Okay, let's move on back to our seats, please. Well done. Look at all this love. Look at all these overzealous huggers. It's awesome. So it's my pleasure to introduce our musical guests today. Cassandra, Davies, and Marti Hunter are Sounds of Poetry. Cassandra is a poet and spoken word artist whose main theme is to convey the sameness of our human experience. Marti believes that music is ministry to the experience, to the heart and soul, and loves sharing it with others. They're both members of our CSL community, San Jose, and want you to feel the expression of love in all that comes forth.
I am like a bag of marbles, smooth, tough, brightly colored, and beautiful. Some of my marbles may be cracked or missing pieces, and that's what adds to my interest and individuality. See, my broken pieces make up the beauty of me. My sharp edges reflect my light, giving me insight to wisdom's might. I'm like a bag of marbles, smooth and hard to crack on the outside, soft and pretty on the inside. But you have to look close to see my many colors, it's true, because I'm too complex to catch everything in just one view. Polished by the sands of time, I'm like a nautilus on a beach, a treasure you might miss if you were moving too fast. My chambers, each a design of divine complexity, my layers revealing more and more of me, the soul at my core, perfect, whole, complete. I'm like a manuscript from the Library of Alexandria, a rare book among abridged second, third, and fourth editions, a one-of-a-kind, invaluable, priceless copy written by the master in a design never to be duplicated. I'm like a masterpiece housed at the Louvre. Don't touch, no flash photography, surrounded by more masterpiece creations, each one just like me, an individual drop in a sea of creative genius, perfect, whole, complete. I go against pre-programmed scripts and play it live and in living color. I don't like to color in black and white, staying inside the lines. I like to draw life in whatever way strikes me as pretty, because in that creative moment is when God gets to play. I like to stop, quiet, and listen, and let God have its way. My crayons might be broken or worn from years of use, but their colors are just as vibrant and bright as if they were new. A seashell on a beach polished by eternal sands, I'm like a bag of marbles, each one a special part of me. A sacred scroll of quantum selection. There is only one of me, but I am not alone. Just look around you and witness the beauty of God's marble collection.
That was beautiful and moving. Thank you. Thank you, thank you. It's my pleasure and joy to introduce Reverend Aileen Cureton, one of our own. Yeah, Reverend Aileen is now the spiritual leader at the Mendocino CSL, but she has always and always will be one of ours. Her life is rooted in New Thought teachings, first with unity and then science of mind in her teen years. We're so happy to have her home today. Reverend Aileen.
I got one. Thank you, Spencer. Hi, family. Hi. It's so good to be home. I was talking to somebody earlier today, and she said, "Did you notice the paint color change in the entryway there?" And I said, "Yeah." "Oh, I didn't." And I looked, and it felt familiar to me. And you know what's funny is I think it was that color when I first came here in the 80s. Or something similar to that, right? Some things changed and some things just stayed the same. But what stayed the same, hi Arpana, what stayed the same here at CSL San Jose is the family. The faces might change, the building might change, but the heart is the same here. The heart is the same here. I love marbles, and I'm so glad that you did that one today. It's one of my very favorites. Cassandra, I call her Roomie. I call her Roomie because she was my roommate. Actually, we took Prac 1 together, but she's also this amazing poet. And so it just fits. I still call her Roomie. So if you'll hear me say that, you wonder why? That's why, because we were roommates. And she's such, I love her speaking. Today we're going to talk about enriching our soil of possibilities. Wow, this lectern is huge. You know, when I went to Mendocino, I went there as a guest speaker. I was up there on vacation. I had just been laid off from Meta, and I needed a break. And I thought, I'm going to go to the family property in Albion and just relax So I called my cousin Kent, who lives in Santa Cruz, and I said, hey, I'm going to the cabin. Do you want to go with me? He said, yeah. He hadn't been there in a long time either. And so the two of us went, and we did our own separate things, and we came together at the end of the day and compared notes. And Sunday morning, I thought, I've always wanted to look up the church up here. I'd even reached out at one point to see about speaking there, but then, life at Meta, if you work in tech, you know that it's life-consuming, right? And so I never did. But I was up there and I thought, I'm going to go check them out. So I go online, and my friend Ruth Barnhart, who's a minister in Santa Rosa, was the guest speaker that day. And I thought, yeah, I'm going to go surprise Ruth. So I walked in just as Ruth was walking in. She said, what are you doing here? I said, I have family property up here. I've been up here my whole life. This is where I spent every Easter, every summer, at least one weekend a month. But we never went to church because Sunday was the day we went home. And back then it was a 5-hour drive. Now it's 3.5. On a good day. I didn't know I loved to drive until I started doing that drive up there on a regular basis. And I'm sitting in the audience and I'm listening, and she said, I never do this, but I want to introduce you to someone who's here. And this is Aileen Cureton, and she is in her senior year of ministerial school. And I went, no. And they came over afterwards and said, would you like to speak here? I said, sure. So I went to speak, and pretty soon I was speaking there once a month. I was here 3 Sundays a month, and I was there 1 Sunday a month. I didn't apply for the job. It happened. It happened. That's what nurturing the soil of possibilities looks like, right? If we're enriching our soil of possibilities, we're constantly doing the work, right? We pray, we meditate. We sing uplifting songs. We stand up during service and we sing with the praise team. Because why? It connects something between our heart and our head, right? It anchors the message. We always say, nobody walks out of service repeating what the speaker said. They walk out of service singing the songs that the praise team sang. Right? Totally. So I'm just the filler for them. But in our journey through life, it's about cultivating that fertile inner soil. And we do that, and it's essential for personal and spiritual growth. Just as a gardener tends to their soil to ensure a bountiful harvest, we must nurture our inner environment to realize our full potential. It's necessary to explore every experience, both the positive and the challenging, as they can serve as valuable nutrients that enrich our lives. I'm going to tell you a story about John. I met John maybe the second time I spoke at Mendocino. And I was doing this great talk. I was talking about abundance and how the world works for us and, big rah, rah, rah. And I'm almost at the end of my talk, and John stands up. And John's a little rough looking. And John stands up, and he stands in the back, and he says, yes, but what about? What about this, and what about that, and the system doesn't work for people like us, and da-da-da-da-da-da-da, just complaining, and I kept trying to jump in. He's like, you need to let me finish. I was like, okay. I was 1 sentence away from closing my talk when he stood up. I was like, oh, man. And he was fighting for his limitations like you would not believe. I mean, hands on hips. He stood up tall. He was not going to let me get a word in edgewise. And I finally said, John, can you hear me? He said, yeah. I said, I tell you what, I was about ready to let these people go to the rest of their day. I was going to go home today, but I will stay for as long as it takes to listen to what it is that you absolutely need to say. Well, yes, but I said, John, I'll stay for as long as it takes. I promise. It took a little convincing, but he finally went and he sat down. And I stayed and we talked and he argued for his limitations. He was not going to listen to me. I said, okay, I'm just going to listen to you. A couple times later, I go back up, and John stands up during service again. And I said, John. He says, yeah. I said, you know I love you, right? He says, I love you too, Aileen. I said, great, sit down. Now, the retired minister just happened to be sitting in front of him, and I thought, oh, God, I just screwed that up. And she went like this. I said, John, I'll stay as long as it takes. We're going to talk about it. Now, see, John at the time was living in his car with his big Great Pyrenees. Huge dog, lots of hair. And Winter would come to service with him every week and be in the back, and he had all these jangles on his collar, and so every time Winter moved, you'd hear the jangles in the room, and it was really distracting. But John always sat right up against the back wall. And John was a really, really heavy smoker. He reeked of smoke. But his clothes were generally clean, a little rough around the edges. And John would challenge me every single time. The system doesn't work for people like me. I can't find housing, yada, yada, yada. And I said, well, let's shift that. No, Aileen, it doesn't work that way. I said, let's try it my way. I asked him, John, I'm one of those people, I'm going to pull your covers. Is that okay? He's like, go for it. I said, great. I don't think anybody ever had. So I started pulling his covers and telling him that this was not the truth. Sorry, I had to change the words in my head. This was not the truth. That the truth is that the universe is abundant. That there are services out there, that there are opportunities out there. And so we shifted his consciousness just a little. I said, are you willing to be willing to be willing? Reverend Audra talked about that last month, right? The willing to be willing to be willing to be willing. I had that conversation with John. And he said, okay, fine. But the system won't work for me. I'm here to tell you that John ended up in an amazing housing cottage right next to the Fort Bragg Police Department. Little one-bedroom cottage. I don't know how he skipped the line, because I was over there talking to the manager about a month ago, and she said, this line goes back to like 1997. I'm like, how did John get in here? She says, I don't know. People are waiting to get in there because they're so cute, and they're subsidized, and you know, all these things. And so John gets into housing, and I'm like, John, good on you. He goes, yeah, it's too big. What do you mean it's too big? I can't sleep in there, it's too big. I said, what's wrong? Well, you know, it's too big, and I'm used to a small space. I said, great, hang a curtain up from the ceiling around your bed. He did, it worked. He was happy, right? I had a phone call one day because John welcomed somebody into the room, someone who was very introverted and was going through a really hard time, someone who actually came to see if I really was a minister. She didn't believe me. And so she just popped in, and John was like, come on, sit down. And she felt really loved and supported by this man. And so she called me and she said, I'd like to send him a bag of groceries. Now, John uses the food bank in town. And I called and I said, somebody has called me. They'd like to have a bag of groceries delivered to you. What would you like? And he said, nothing. I said, what do you mean nothing? He says, I get my food from the food bank. I'm fine. I'm like, John, do you want a 6-pack of beer? Do you want some ice cream? What do you want? No, I'm good. And I hung up the phone thinking, I failed him. I failed him. And it took about a month, and I called him up. I said, John, I got to talk to you about something. He said, it's the bag of groceries, isn't it? Yeah. John, would you be willing to let me talk about this? He said, of course. I said, it occurs to me that when you block somebody else giving, that you block their cycle of abundance. He said, I was thinking the same thing. I said, great, can that person send you groceries? He said, no. No. John was my greatest teacher. I loved John. John drove everybody crazy. When he wasn't there, you could see the congregation would be like, whew. And some people loved him, right? But he was a challenge. John passed away about a month ago. Yeah. I miss him a lot. I had that feeling to go check on him, you know, when you get that feeling to go check on a friend, and I had that feeling, and I went and knocked on the door, and the dog barked, and I thought, I'm not going to peek through his windows, because I knew he had not been feeling well. So I hollered, hey, John, I'll be back in a couple hours, because I had to go teach a class that night. And so when I came back after class, the dog was still barking, the lights were off, and I went and looked, and I thought, oh man. John was my greatest teacher because he challenged me, right? And John didn't want to be of this world any longer. He had been through a really tough time, but he used those past experiences and was willing to open his ears just a little bit to start to enrich his life in new ways. There's a pub in town called Tall Guy Brewing, and Tall Guy Brewing has agreed to let me go and do an open memorial. John loved Tall Guy Brewing. John loved live music. He didn't drink much, but in the end he didn't drink much, but he was always outside of there with his dog and enjoying the music and talking to people. People in town know who this guy is, and people love him. So Tall Guy agreed last week that, yeah, we can do an open memorial service there. I'm like, keep the bar open, let people order drinks, we'll all raise glasses for John, let's have a party for John. So that's what we're gonna do, right? But John had to go through his rough past to get some growth, right? We've all had to do that. We've all had to go through our rough paths to get to some growth. He's a perfect example of that. Every challenge and experience in our lives carries a valuable lesson. John got his at the end. We don't have to wait until then, people. Come on. Consider the obstacles that you've overcome in your life. Consider those hurdles. Reflect on those moments and recognize the strength and resilience that you had to get past that. You are powerful beings. A lot of us come here because we're broken, and we learn how to take care of ourselves. I did. I came back. I came back in my 30s because I was broken. I needed a safe place to be. I showed up in a foundations class, and Peggy Lambden was the TA. Yeah. And there was a class where I sat and I cried through the entire thing, and the TAs made sure that I was okay. Like, I had stuff going on, and they knew it, because I told them. I didn't tell the whole class what was going on, but I needed a safe place to be. And so they created that space for me. That's where I met Cassandra, Prac 1. Instead of viewing these experiences as burdens, we need to see them as essential components to our personal growth. See, by changing our perspective, we can transform our challenges into opportunities. We get to embrace them as necessary parts of our journey. That's the cultivating that soil, right? Our dreams are like seeds, are full of potential, waiting for the right conditions to grow and flourish. Does anybody know about the trillium flower? The trillium flower. You could tell a healthy forest if you see a trillium flower. Trillium flower is called the trillium because there are 3 petals and 3 leaves. This flower is an early bloomer, and the queen bees love it. Because the queen bees can go in and they can get all of their nectar and hop from flower to flower to flower to flower, as they do, and they bring all that back to their girls, and they feed their girls, right, to create a really strong, good hive. The trillium flower, though, never pick them. They're beautiful, but never pick them. I just heard in my head my mother going, "Look, it's a trillium of trilliums." Hi, Mom. This flower takes a lot to grow. So when it finally finishes blooming and all of the seeds fall out, right, the little ants come by, because there's a sticky thing next to the seed. I wrote it down. what's it called? Ileosome. So the ants take the ileosome back to their nest, and they take all the sticky, sweet stuff off, but they can't break through the seed, so they throw that out of the nest, right? That seed sits there and does its thing for 5 to 7 years. 5 to 7 years before this little plant starts to poke itself out of the ground. Imagine all those years of the forest falling on top of it. 5 to 7 years. Now these plants can live up to 50 years. And the ants have moved their seeds around. So if you go to the forest and you see the trillium, and there's a bunch of them, chances are there was an ant colony right there at some point. It takes time to nourish what we have going on in our lives, to our goals. Our goals. You know, I declared at the Unity Church at the age of 9 that I was going to be a minister. And then I grew up and decided, I really want to eat. Kind of why I didn't become a school teacher either, because I wanted to eat. I saw what my mom was making. And I thought, but what can I do in the meantime? I could teach science of mind classes. I created the very first interfaith employee resource group in Silicon Valley, where we taught people about other faiths and other traditions. That's why I loved Julia's talk on Ramadan. We look at these things and we create our path, but often we don't get to the point we want to get right away, so we give up. What did Dr. David call it? The microwave mentality. That's what Dr. David would call it, a microwave mentality. Journey through life, when we cultivate that soil, then we start to work on our long-term goals. Anybody here ever go to the gym ever in their life? Right? Anybody ever stop going to the gym? Yeah. What happens to those goals? Right? You see people on social network and they're like, I'm going to go to the gym, watch me lose all this weight, and then you see them like 3 years later and they haven't lost a pound, right? You're like, it's hard to stick to those long-term commitments. It's really hard. In the meantime, that's why we teach prayer and meditation. That's why we talk about spiritual study and being active in our communities, because that helps us get through the part where we feel as though we're stumbling. The practices, while they require time and dedication, they contribute to the long-term health of our inner soil. This is why we do this five-point spiritual practice here, right? So instead of seeking immediate rewards, we cultivate a mindset focused on enduring growth and lasting fulfillment. Who wants enduring growth and lasting fulfillment? Yeah. So take those moments in your life that have been challenges and celebrate them. Celebrate them. Here's my call to action for you this week. This week I want you to take a few moments to sit and quietly reflect on 3 experiences from your past that have contributed to your growth. I want you to write them down in your journal. 3 things that contributed to your growth. And I want you to note the lessons that you learned from these things. I want you to focus on the strengths that you gained from the experience. And then I want you to set a clear intention for your day. A really clear intention. Focusing on a dream or an aspiration that you wish to nurture. Then you visualize yourself taking small steps towards that. Express gratitude for that. And remember that those resources are available to you. Gary Allen Walker used to be the board president here many, many, many years ago. He was a practitioner and ministerial school student, and he said something to me that changed my life when I felt stuck. He said, Aileen, I know you're moving in this direction. I want you to shift 1%. Just 1%. That's all I want you to shift. And see what happens. I'm here to tell you that that completely changed my life. I did the work. I took the classes. I studied. I went back to school. I did these things, and I sit in gratitude every week for that reminder to shift 1% and see what happens. So that's my gift to you, my request of you, to look at where you have shifted and grown, and look at where you want to be and make that 1% shift. Can you do that?
Yes.
Yeah, awesome. Let's pray, shall we? As Troy comes up to the piano, let's just take a deep breath, breathing in and out. And as you do, I want you to feel your body in your seat. Just feel your body in your seat, your hands on your lap or wherever they may be. And relax into this moment. This moment where God exists, where the Divine One is fully present. This moment which is like no other. It's God's time. And we get to be a part of it. So knowing that there is this one source, this one power, this one presence, I know and declare that we are each a part of it. That I, Aileen Cureton, am a part of that great thing, just as you are. Just as you are. There's no place where I end and God starts. There's no place where God ends and you start. We are all that it is. And knowing that to be the truth, we claim and accept all of the challenges of our past and all the possibilities of our future. We let go of any limiting beliefs. We let go of anything that is holding us back, that's no longer serving us, and we take that 1% shift into a new direction. We do so by surrounding ourselves with people who are like-minded, with people who will support us and love us no matter what. And we do so knowing that there is a source that is there to support us when we fail, to pick us right back up and continue back on that path. Because see, this God, this energy, this essence, it only says yes. It only says yes. It is that energy that propels us forward, even when we don't realize it's happening. It's the energy that knows only love. It is the energy that knows only peace. It's the energy that knows only perfect health. It's the energy that knows only abundance. And we are a part of that. We get to be a part of that just by being who we are. So being a part of that, we can claim every single thing that we desire in our life. That abundance, that prosperity, that relationship, that healing moment. It can happen right now if we choose. It's happening right now. We could see peace in the world. And we could claim peace for this world. We could claim that our earth, she is revitalizing. She is becoming who she truly is supposed to be once again. Because we acknowledge her. And we take care of her in a better way. See, God is good all the time, not just when we pay attention to it. And because it transforms, we are allowing it to transform us right now. And so with a grateful heart, I say thank you, Spirit. Thank you, Spirit, for the reminder, for the communities that I can walk into where I know that I am welcome no matter what things might look like. I am so blessed. We are so blessed. And so I just release this prayer into the law of mind, knowing that it's already done, that before I even went into prayer mode, God was saying, yes, yes, yes. I got you. It's done. And so I anchor this, and I invite you to anchor it with me by simply saying, and so it is. Thank you.
We've all got to rise and reach up for the sky, not let life pass us by, not let life seem so shy. And if you just believe, you will realize, you will sense it's time. We've all got to rise. We all need to shine and do the best we can. Reach out a helping hand. Reach out to understand. And if you just believe, we are what we see, hiding from ourselves, hiding from our dreams. Rise and shine, reach up for the sky. Inside your mind, fly away and find who you are. Find your own star and shine. We've all got to shine, fly both near and far, follow our inner star, and be the peace we are. And if you just believe, you will realize, you will sense it's time. We've all got to rise, rise and shine, reach up for the sky. Let your light live inside your mind. Fly away and find who you are. Find your own star and shine. Let's go, band. Rise and shine, reach up for the sky. Let your light live inside your mind. Fly away and find who you got to rise.
That was so beautiful. Thank you. So we're moving into the offertory part of the service, and we're doing it a little bit differently. You'll see bowls of circulated first that are opportunities for you to receive, followed by the offering basket, and we will do our prayer as a group at the end of the process. So as it's time for conscious giving, it's an opportunity to participate in the law of circulation. We know that even though we've been taught it's better to give than receive, the most important idea is often missed. Knowing that we have to receive first in order to give from a feeling of abundance, and so we invite you to receive a blessing of joy. Keep it with you all week long. It's from your higher self, and remember how much you are loved. Wonderful. And now we can complete the law of circulation by giving back. I invite you to invoke the feeling of gratitude through thoughts of life's abundance right where you are, allowing that to fill you and the space around you.
What are you choosing? I'm choosing heaven today. I'm choosing heaven today. I am walking the road of heaven right now. I'm choosing heaven today. I'm choosing freedom today. I'm choosing freedom today. I am walking the road of heaven right now. I'm choosing freedom today. I'm choosing love today. I'm choosing love today. I am walking the road of heaven right now. I'm choosing love today. I'm choosing healings today. I'm choosing healing today. I am walking the road of heaven right now. I'm choosing healing today. I'm choosing joy today. I'm choosing joy today. I am walking the road of heaven right now. I'm choosing joy today. I choose compassion today. I choose compassion today. I am walking the road of heaven right now. I choose compassion today. I'm choosing freedom today. I'm choosing freedom today. I am walking the road of heaven right now. I'm choosing freedom today. I'm choosing grace today. I'm choosing grace today. I am walking the road of heaven right now. I'm
What a praise team. Wow. Please join me in saying our prosperity affirmation together. The words are on the screen. From the love of pure spirit within me, I bless this gift. I send it forth to heal and bless and prosper. It is evidence of my faith and my belief. It does great work in the world, and it returns to me multiplied abundantly. So who's got a birthday in April? It's a new month. Who's got a birthday? Yeah, let us see. That is fantastic. Happy birthday. Susanne, would you kick us off?
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, happy birthday. Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday. What a great time to acknowledge our praise team. Deanna, Colistra, Debbie Slayton, Elizabeth Jade, Gretchen Vogel, Joanna Ladd, Nguyen, and Susanne Mulcahy. I'm sorry, Will. And our house band is Billy Johnson, Dave Marschat, Rob Flahive, and Troy Arnett. Are you ready to do announcements?
Yeah, I'll just do one more thing. And then sound booth, we have Josh and Nick. Alrighty, it is time for announcements. And Gourmets for Gods, G4G, is about to wrap up. Originally, the deadline for submitting your event to host was tomorrow night at midnight. We're going to extend it one more week. We've got about a dozen submissions already, and if we've got a dozen right now, we might have 2 dozen before it's over. Who knows? So midnight, a week from tomorrow night, is the last time to get your donation in. And bidding starts as scheduled next Sunday at 8 a.m. So please come to service anyway.
I know of 2 laggards that are about to enter offerings. One of them may or may not be me. So, I'm not saying. So conscious commitment is our opportunity to affirm our participation with this community. And it's a pledge drive, and it's from March 23rd to April 27th. Please go online to the website and make your conscious commitment to show your support for the center.
And on that note also, if you are an existing member, you must renew your membership with the form before the annual meeting, or you won't be able to vote. Only members will be able to vote in that. So tomorrow, April 7th, the Quick Start program with Reverend Nadine online. It's from 6:30 p.m. to 8:30. It's one time only. It's no charge, but you need to register for it to be able to get the link to get in. The Science of Mind teaching is not a creed, as it contains neither dogma nor decree. So that's what it's not. If you want to see what it is, 2 hours tomorrow night, the Quick Start program. If you're thinking of becoming a member here or just want to recharge your knowledge of Science of Mind, this free 2-hour online event is for you.
Okay, and the spring donation drive carries on through April 27th. And you can do drop-offs here before 10:30 a.m. on Sundays or after 12:30. Danielle Green and Mary Lightholder have the lead on this, and they're collecting clothes that are new or barely used that are suitable for people going into the court system. And they need dress shirts, shoes, blazers, ties, slacks, those kinds of things. So that's an opportunity, time to check the closet.
And the next Sunday, instead of outside, because the jet airplanes can upset sensitive little furry critters, on the tiled area here in Fellowship Hall will be the annual animal blessing, and we have a little cute little thing right back there that's just she's an affection hound. So please join us out here. W. Belmisseri will be putting it on. Pre-registration is no, I'm looking at the wrong one. It's time to pass it over to.
Okay, so the annual member meeting is May 18th. Mark your calendar. It's after service. Lunch will be provided. It's no cost. And it's a chance to hear about status, a chance to vote and participate, and we hope that you will be there. Non-members are welcome, but they won't be able to vote.
For that one, pre-registration is required, and you can do it online. So, regarding the annual meeting, we have some open spots on the Board of Trustees, and member applications are open until April 14th. So there's see either David Field or Susanne Mulcahy or Julie Moss or Mitzi McClarney, and you can find out more about it and turn in your application form for that. And that's it for announcements.
Creative Brilliance. Oh, April, at the end of April.
The slide's there, but we forgot to put it in.
Read the slide, people. Read the slide. So, yeah, I can't see the slide. Okay, so do we have any newcomers today? We won't make you stand up. We won't do anything like that. Just show us your hand. Anyone here for the first time? Maybe that. Well, second time, third time. Welcome. We are glad you're here. We have a gift for you that is at the concierge desk outside after service. Come on up to any of us and chat with us if you'd like. We'd love to meet you, and we're glad you're here. Is that a new member?
I know. I didn't want to distract from the newcomers. This is a newcomer, an almost 4-month-old newcomer. Good morning. I am Jennifer. I'm the Director of Youth and Families, and this is a member of my family. I would like to acknowledge our youth and family volunteers today. I was in charge of the babies. This is my granddaughter. And in charge of the toddlers was an honorary member of our youth team today, Sherry Green, watching her own two in the daycare room. And we had Chris Grayson watching the young ones and Jackson with the teens. So thank you very much to our volunteers. Oh. Her name is Delilah, and you may say hello to her, but no kisses. Thank you.
I'd like to invite the practitioners to come down as well, please. And we've got the youth, so we're ready for our closing song. Oh, and prayer is available. If there's someone you want for a chance to talk and pray with a practitioner, it can be a celebration. It can be for about something that's heavy on your heart. You can see Deb Slayton. Deb Slayton is in the corner back there right now. There'll be other practitioners available, and we're there for you if you want to spend some time together. Okay. Closing song, please.
I release and I let go. I let the Spirit run my life, and my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith, I see the light. I am free.
Repeat after me. My experiences may be smelly.
My experiences may be smelly,
but they are fertilizer for my soul.
but they are fertilizer for my soul.
I see it.
I see it.
I feel it.
I feel it.
I know it.
I know it.
And so it is.
And so it is.